Hey everybody, and welcome back to Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, checking later still like Jackson, and I'm running late for my game, but I'm gonna make a pie. I'm just celebrating that I'm cutting out sugar by making a pie. And I'm celebrating that my oven's fixed. Hey, some oven's fixed, let's do some baking stuff. You got some baking recipes, hit me with them. So I'm gonna do a simple apple pie, man. A la commode, or whatever my father used to call it. This is going to be great. Before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe, do the YouTube stuff, ring the little bell that's going to be in that corner over there, get notifications when we do these as close to Tuesdays and Fridays as we can. Also, there's a link down the doobly-doo for our merch. We got fake hands and spatulas and flippers and spoons and, pot holders and my, where's my apron? But I might have shipped that out with somebody. So, aprons, that's all down in the doobly-doo, and let's just get into the pie. Alright, super simple, but we're going to make it fancy this time. You're going to need 2 of these pie crusts, not 4. They come 2 in a box, but they show up better on camera. You're going to want 2 of these cans. Like, you can use just one and get a little skinny pie or whatever, but we use 2. You're going to need a little bit of granulated sugar. You're going to want some apple pie spice. This is kind of optional, but I enjoy it. Just makes crust taste less like just straight crust. Also, for the a la mode part, you're going to want to get you some Bluebell ice cream. Get the homemade vanilla. This is the best kind. Just straight up homemade vanilla. I'm from Texas. Oh, and you're going to need butter. Almost forgot you need butter. Also, you're going to need these 9-inch pie plates, right? Like, these are $3. I got it at, like, the local big box store. You can also get, like, the disposable ones, and it's $3 for, like, 3 of them. They throw out, or you can get them recycled, whatever, but it's food stuff. It's hard. And I found this one for $2 at a thrift store, man. It's dirty, so I'm not going to use it, but I got it for, like, $2-3, and you're really going to, want to use it. It's great for serving or whatever. So you're going to get one of these. You're going to get, like half a pat of butter, like it's like a quarter or less of a teaspoon, and just kind of smush it around the bottom. You don't want it just being a lump in the middle, because it's going to melt and it'll move around, whatever. Now get you a pinch of sugar. You don't want to do too much because you don't want it to just straight caramelize. My biggest problem with pies is the crust is usually like flavorless, right? It's just bread, like it could be anything. So what I'm doing here is you just get a little sprinkle of your pumpkin pie spice on the bottom, and it flavors the bottom of that stuff. So no matter where you grab hold of this, we're going to do it again on the top later. It'll make it taste like apple pie. Now take one of these, make sure they're all nice and thawed out. Make sure you thaw them out first, or this is going to take forever. Roll those out, get them in there, and then kind of tuck it in. Just make sure there's a little bit of a lip sticking up, not too much. You can go back and trim it. I just took a pair of scissors and trimmed around the edges, but that's what you want to do. Preheat your oven to 425, and then fill this in with your filling. Now, get you a long-handled teaspoon and scrape it out. Now, I left this part in just to annoy Jack, just to make that noise. Rattle, 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 rattle. And then fill that in. Like, see, you fill this in, see how much room it takes up? Like, that is like a teeny tiny, like, sad restaurant pie. Like, it's like half a mouthful if you take a bite of it. It's just, like, sad. So I'm going to go ahead and use 2. Yeah, because I'm a fat guy. But I want my pie to be filling, man. I want to do that. Now, we're going to do, like, a savory pie later. It'll be cool. But, yeah, just get you 2. Now, take your other one. Do just like you do at the bottom, and that's going to have a little bit more dough to it because it's not going to go into that concave cavity there. So just kind of roll out across the top. Now there's 2 schools of thought here, man. You can kind of wet the inside a little bit, like with your finger, just dip it in there and then squish it together with your fingers. Or, like I like to try to do, is get a fork and do the same thing. Kind of wet the inside. It helps the dough stick together on the edge. But you use your fork and go all the way around the outside. It makes it look super fancy. Like that. And nobody knows. Like, it's like, oh, that's just the edge of the pie, and it looks cool or whatever. You're like, no, that was a fork. And then you can take scissors or a knife or just tear it off with your fingers around the edge. Get you a nice sharp knife. Shout out to Andy. I got to add him on everything here. He's my buddy. And then cut 4 holes in the top of it. Now, this is going to let the steam come out where it won't rupture your crust or whatever. And it gives you that classic, like, ooh, it's your pie. Or you can get fancy and, like, LBP and Oz and put your name on your pie. Because I got time like that. Now, this I've never understood is you want to get little strips of aluminum foil and cover the edges. It keeps it from browning too much once you get it in the oven. It takes forever. They don't stick. I wanted to tape them down because I'm an amp garter, and it was just driving me nuts. Get you another single pat of butter, put it on the top, and a little bit more of your apple pie spice. Sprinkle, 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 right? And then your oven should be preheated at your 425. So we're going to put it in there and put it in for 40 minutes. Okay, now this is what I did at 40 minutes. Just put it in there. Boop. At 40 minutes, you can see it's cooking and all the aluminum foil falls off, because that's fine, because I'm not putting that shit back on there. So now you've put it out at 40 minutes. It's not quite done. Get you some butter. You can use a brush. You could like melt it and that'll work better. And just kind of pat the top of this, right? Just get the, especially those edges, because they're starting to dry out, because that's where all your brown is. Just kind of cover it in brown. And then you're going to get another pinch of sugar and sprinkle it on top. It gives you a nice crispy flavor. It gives you where it's a sweet crust instead of just, because it's store-bought crust, so you don't have to mix it up. When you make homemade stuff, you can put whatever in it. It makes it taste good, but the store-bought stuff just tastes like crust because they don't know if you're going to use it for savory stuff or sweet stuff, whatever. So add the sugar and spice on the top, put it back in for another 5-10 minutes until it gets that golden brown texture. You see how that steam's coming out of that damn thing? That means let it cool off. But that's good. Serve this next to a blob of ice cream. And then that's it. That's what makes it a la mode, or a la commode, if you want to be a dad joke about it. That's what Dad always called it. But this is, like I said, maybe an hour to make, because of your prep time and whatever. But it's super simple. It tastes amazing. It's good. I cover it with the aluminum foil, and it's supposed to keep for like 2 or 3 days. You can put it in a sealed container. That was my first slice. That's what we call the test slice, because it never comes out right and the edges get all screwy. But after that, it gets good. But my picture's all blurry, so I apologize that. But I was in a hurry to eat pie because my ice cream is melting. But yeah, it's best when it's warm. So nuke it and then add the ice cream again. But you got to try it. And there you have it, folks. Super hot pie. Now I know, cut it up. I showed you the pictures before, but this is amazing. It tastes great. It's apple freaking pie, and I used ice cream to make it out of mood or whatever. You got to try this. Like I said, we've done it before without all the stuff on top and in the bottom and stuff. Apparently that makes it better because it's not just crust. It's got flavor and stuff to it, which is amazing. You do it differently. You want to see us do it differently? Let me know. Put it down in the comments. That's what they're there for. You can also find us on social media. Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. We're at all those at Live Between Paychecks Kitchen. You can also find us on Instagram at Live Between. Shorten it down over there. Find me, Osway Nerdy, on all of those, including TikTok and Twitter. Still just talking nerd stuff. Went and seen the D&D movie, so that was cool. You can tell me about that or any of the recipes that inspired, and that'll be cool. And I'll see y'all next time. I'm going to go sit and wait for this pie to cool off. Y'all be safe.